Before training, I was in the 30 years in the insurance and financial services industry.
And before training for me, I had made it up to a mid-level management position for 10 years with a commercial collection agency.
The reason we decided on CCTG, or the reason I decided, and I think Conrad will agree with me, were the people that we met, the integrity that we found during our due diligence process, and also we just felt like it was a tremendous opportunity and there's a great need for the product.
Yeah, and just to tie into what Mark said, I did my share of due diligence. I actually contacted 6 previous graduates and spoke with them at length. And I was assured of the continual support that I would continue to receive after graduation. So that really firmed up my decision to go ahead and make the plunge.
The reason why I felt like this was such great preparation and training, it was extremely intense. It reminded me of a graduate level course, master's type graduate level course. It was that intense, 8-10 hours a day, a lot of material, but yet it was digested in a way and given to us in a way that we could easily digest.
For me, it's the same thing as what Mark is saying, but it was like a shock course in commercial loan financing. 8 to 10 hours a day. There's a lot of material to go over. But the thing that's beautiful about this program is that once you're done, you're not just let out to swim with the sharks. You have continual support. You can call Chris or John and they pick up on the, if they don't pick up on the first ring, you can leave them a message and be assured that they will call you back within a couple of hours to help you. Our trainers really went out of their way to incorporate real-life scenarios to further cement everything that we were learning, because like I said before, it was a great deal of material to cover, but they would stop from time to time to take a look at some recent deals that they had just gotten through for each loan type, and that's refreshing.
Learning, as we know, it's not what you know. Always, there's a lot. I've known a lot of good teachers knowledgeable teachers that weren't really good teachers because they just couldn't convey the material to the students. And in this case, John and Chris and Alex and several of the other staff members, even the lenders they brought in, very trainer friendly. The information, even though it was complex and copious amounts of information. The information was, if you paid attention, it was easy to digest, easy to learn. My expectations were more than met because I felt like it was a graduate level training. I mean, it was not basic at all. It was, even though we covered basics, we moved rapidly into the more complex lending scenarios. And so I really would equate this to an intensive graduate level course on commercial lending.
Yeah, for me the same thing. I would say that the training more than met my expectations. I didn't expect anything like a class. I expected, to be quite honest, a seminar, because I've been to seminars before. But this was not a seminar, make no mistake. This was a class where we were introduced to complex scenarios. We actually had to look over debt service coverage ratios, all these things that go into the actual nitty-gritty underwriting of a loan. And that, for me, really, that was a very intensive part of the training.
Well, the group projects that we did,
group projects,
group projects that were really, really awesome.
The lenders, again, it kind of ties into what I said about the trainers. They didn't just leave us off into the deep end. So we had already been formally introduced to each of the lenders that we would be working with. And the lenders, like Chris and John, are easily accessible as well. And that was also very refreshing. They called us back if we had a loan to go over. Within a couple hours, you get a call back or an email. Very readily available to work with you.
Here's the thing. You can tell when somebody wants to work with you. You can tell if somebody wants to do business with you. These guys if they weren't there in person, they were on conference call and introductions after when we got back home, ready to do business. We're getting emails, phone calls, welcome aboard. These guys want to work with us because we're the lifeblood of their business. They want us to be successful. And so we're very impressed with the cooperative relationship we have with the lenders.
One of the first deals that I was able to complete successfully was an unsecured business line of credit for a small IT company. And this gentleman had actually continued what his father started back in 1995. And he simply had gotten to a point where he really couldn't go any further without some financing. He wanted to open up a new office and of course obtain some new contracts. So I was able to help this gentleman and his wife. They were a couple in partnership together. I was able to help them obtain a $100,000 unsecured business line of credit. And that's really part of the reason that I got into this business. I come from a psychology background. I wanted to help people or counsel people in some way, mentor people, if you will. And this really put me in the driver's seat and helping a small business, realize their dream.
Yeah, that's a great point. We're consultants. That's what we do. It's not unusual for somebody to come to us for wanting X amount of dollars for something, and by the time we finish talking to them, we've shifted into another idea, maybe a different amount. But a deal that comes to mind for us is, as we know, the North Dakota area is really booming, and oil and the Bakken oil shale up there. And we've been able to secure a couple of deals. One that's a developer, and it's a quite large $24 million project. And the other one is Indian reservation, which is a pretty unique project. And so, and it's quite large too. So it's really fun that we've met all these diversified people and all these projects that we see going on. And what's cool is we can do just about anything.
Would I recommend this training? I would strongly recommend this training. The sad reality is that most Americans that come out of college, they look to a job for security. They look to working for a company, giving their loyalty for 20 or 30 years, and then they expect that to be reciprocated. The sad reality is that doesn't happen anymore. There is no loyalty either way, from either the employees or the corporations. Sadly, the corporations are firing their employees, and I saw the writing on the wall where I was working. I saw managers that had been with my company for over 20 years. This country was built on entrepreneurship, and for anybody to have an opportunity to start their own business, make their own path of success, define their own success and define their own self-worth, and not have someone tell you what you're worth. I think that's a beautiful thing, and more companies need to encourage that.
Are there going to be bumps in the road? Are there going to be challenges? Sure. I mean, we're starting from scratch. If you do everything they tell you to do, try to learn something every day, work the system, work the process, you'll make it. And what's really cool about this business is you'll rock along and talk to 10 people. You might get discouraged. All of a sudden, that 11th deal comes through, and that commission is a year's worth of salary. So hang in there, work the system. If you're passionate about what you do, believe in it, it'll work.
Sure, I think the investment is probably worth 10 times what we paid. to be honest. With the way our business is looking to grow this next year, it definitely is.
Yeah, we just got back from the Dallas Franchise Show. We had a booth out there as one of the lenders, franchise lenders, and we looked at the price of some of these franchises, and it's not cheap. And if you want to talk about risk taking, looking at some of these franchises and hoping people walk through your door, we like that. We like the proactive nature of our business. That we're going to, as hard as the harder we work, the more successful we're going to be.
The experience was magnificent. Albany is beautiful. The people that we met were wonderful. The trainers, like I said, are always at reach. I've actually conferenced in John and Chris on a couple of my deals that I've worked on in the past couple months. They're always ready to help. Mark may have a different take on, he's always been an entrepreneur. But me coming from a corporate America, I would say that I should have done this 10 years ago when I was in my 20s, instead of waiting until I'm in my 30s here to do it. But do something on your own. Find a way to make your own path. That's what this country was founded on, creating your own business.
Yeah, in conclusion, is there a market for this product? Absolutely. The statistics show 7 out of 10 get turned down at the banks. We've already run into that all the time. We're working with bankers that are frustrated because they're taking deals to their loan committees, and their loan committees are saying no. And so we actually have several bankers that have come on board with us, that are working with us. And so the opportunity is tremendous. There's more deals out there than a million of us could do. And so definitely, in conclusion, it's a tremendous, still and will be a tremendous opportunity.